Ever feel like you're there, but not really there? You smile, you talk, you show up every day, but deep down, something feels off, like you're slowly losing who you used to be. What if I told you that you're losing yourself? In this video, you'll discover 10 signs without even realizing it. Some of these signs are subtle, some will hit you hard, and one of them might explain everything you've been feeling lately. Let's start. Sign 1. You constantly seek validation. You check your phone again and again, not because you're bored, but because you're waiting for a reply, waiting for someone to notice you, waiting for someone to make you feel important. At first, it feels normal. We all like attention. We all like feeling valued. But slowly, it turns into something else. Now your mood depends on it. If they reply fast, you feel good. If they don't, you start overthinking. And without realizing it, you give other people control over your emotions. You start asking yourself, why haven't they replied yet? Did I say something wrong? Are they losing interest? But the real question is, why does their response decide your worth? Because at some point, you stopped validating yourself and started depending on others to do it for you. Sign 2. You say yes when you want to say no. You don't want to do it, but you still say yes. Someone asks for your time, your help, your energy, and even when you're tired, even when you're not in the mood, you agree. Not because you want to, but because you're afraid. Afraid of disappointing them. Afraid they might think differently about you. Afraid they might leave. So instead of being honest, you choose to be liked. At first, it feels like kindness. You tell yourself, I'm just being a good person. I don't want to hurt anyone. But slowly, it starts costing you. You feel drained. You feel overwhelmed. And deep down, you feel a little frustrated because you're always there for others, but never there for yourself. And the more you ignore your own needs, the more invisible you become to yourself. You lose your voice. You lose your boundaries. And eventually, you lose your identity. Because every time you say yes to others, when you actually mean no, you're saying no to yourself. Sign 3. You overthink everything. It starts small, a simple conversation, a normal message. But later, you replay it in your head, again and again. What did they mean? Did I say something wrong? Why did they reply like that? And suddenly, a simple moment turns into a mental loop. You analyze every word, every tone, every pause, trying to find a hidden meaning that probably doesn't even exist. At first, it feels like you're being careful, like you're just trying to understand things better. But in reality, you're creating problems that weren't even there. Your mind becomes loud. Constant thoughts, constant doubt, constant stress. And the worst part? The more you think, the less clarity you get. Because overthinking doesn't solve problems. It amplifies them. It makes small things feel big, and big things feel overwhelming. And slowly, you stop trusting yourself. You hesitate more. You doubt your decisions. You second-guess everything. Because now, you're not living in reality anymore. You're living inside your head. And that's where you start losing control. Sign 4. You feel drained around certain people. You spend time with them. You talk. You laugh. Everything looks normal from the outside. But when it's over, you feel tired. Not physically, but mentally. Like something inside you just got heavier. At first, you ignore it. You tell yourself, maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe I'm just tired. But it keeps happening. Again and again. Every time you interact with them, you lose energy instead of gaining it. Because not every connection is healthy. Some people don't support you. They slowly drain you. They make everything about themselves. They don't really listen. They don't really care. And without realizing it, you start shrinking around them. You think twice before speaking. You hold back your thoughts. You try to avoid conflict, just to keep things okay. But here's the truth. Real connections don't exhaust you. They don't make you feel small. They don't make you question yourself. They give you energy. They make you feel understood. So if someone consistently makes you feel drained, it's not normal. It's a sign that you're giving your energy to the wrong people. And the longer you ignore it, the more you lose yourself in the process. Sign 5. You don't recognize yourself anymore. At some point, you stop and think, when did I become like this? You look at yourself, and something feels different. Not in a good way. The things you once enjoyed don't excite you anymore. The confidence you once had feels gone. And the worst part? You don't even know when it changed. It didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly. Little by little, you started adjusting for others, changing for others, staying silent for others. Until one day, you became someone you don't even recognize. You used to speak freely. Now you overthink before every word. You used to feel strong. Now you feel unsure, almost lost. And deep inside, there's a quiet question. Where did the real me go? Because in trying to keep others happy, you slowly disconnected from yourself. Your likes changed. Your priorities changed. Even your personality started shifting. Not because you wanted to grow, but because you were trying to fit in. And now, you're living a version of yourself. That doesn't even feel real. That's the scariest part. Not losing people, but losing yourself. Losing yourself doesn't happen in one moment. It happens slowly, in small choices, every single day. But the good news is, if you can recognize these signs, you can take your power back. Start choosing yourself. Start listening to yourself. Start becoming yourself again. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself. If this video opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe to Book Sensei for more real psychology content.